and what kind of a response you want to evoke from them. I'd like you to think then about your story. Each of your organizations, whether you're internal to the company or whether you're a self-contained entity, has a story to tell. Who and what are you? Who and what are you not? What makes you unique? What do you do? What do you not do? Who can help? Who can you help? Who can help you? So again, think about some of these things. I know that some organizations such as yours that I've worked with have names like knowledge in their company name, or technical knowledge in their company name, or publications, or documentation, or localization, or training, or instruction. Many, many different names that are possible, which also means that you might be competing with companies that have similar names. Okay? So begin to think about the name of your company as it currently is, your logo as it currently is, and how it can be improved. To help you tell your story, I put together some questions, and during our activity session, you'll have an opportunity with others in the group who are sitting here to be able to brainstorm some of these. Now, when you tell the story of your business, try to visualize this. You're at work. Where are you? What does it look like? What's around you? What are you wearing? What tools are you using? Are there other people around? What kind of interaction might there be with those other people? What is it that makes your particular organization unique? And when you capture that, you definitely want to make sure that your brand, in your name and in your logo, captures that essence. There are a number of tools that can help you to further understand your own story, and in understanding your story, that's a first step in being able to tell your story so that others understand it. One of these tools is called a SWOT analysis, S-W-O-T. And this will be another activity that we will do. Are any of you familiar with a SWOT analysis? Emily, you are. Anyone else? Sonia, good. Then for Lisa and Carrie, who didn't shake their heads yes, a SWOT analysis, the S stands for your strengths. The W stands for your weaknesses. The O would be opportunities, and the T would be threats. Typically, they're put into a quadrant. So the S, the W, the O, and the T are in separate quadrants where you begin to identify those four elements. So we're going to do that, and that will help you also when it comes to really thinking about whether your name and logo are doing you justice. I will say, typically there's always room for improvement. Okay. When you look at your current logo and your current name, do some evaluation. Take some criteria and think, based on these criteria, how am I doing? That again will help us to find the areas for improvement. And we will also do this as an activity too, where you'll be able to apply your own department or company name. Some of the criteria that we're going to look at would be the pronunciation of your company name and the acronym. If it's hard to spell, if it's hard to read, if it's hard to pronounce, if the acronym perhaps is unflattering, you might want to think about changing that. Take a look at what your logo looks like. If there's a graphic there, is it in sync with what you actually do? You're a communications company. And yet in your logo what I'm seeing is what looks like a ruler. For me, the two do not seem to match. So again, the synchronicity between what you do and what your name and what your logo suggests is very important. We want to avoid any kind of confusion as well. As I mentioned earlier, some company names or group names are so vague that they're confused with other organizations. We want to avoid that. Whatever is unique needs to come together in your brand. If the words are not particularly unique, for example, creative services, not all that unique. Creative services could be a lot of different things. Having a graphic in there, perhaps with, a paintbrush, would begin to clarify that somewhat. As we work through the activities of helping you to redefine your company name and logo and how to put it together, I want you to keep in mind where your name and where your logo is going to be displayed. It might be displayed on a promotional folder. Okay, this is my promotional folder. It might be displayed on a company brochure. Again, this is my company brochure. It might be displayed on bookmarks. This is all part of my promotional set. And obviously it's going to be displayed on your stationery on an envelope. I picked up several other items that I have picked up at trade shows that display logos. Here is a box, Uncle Bob's Self-Storage. Well, his name and his logo and the particular object that it is displayed on are all very congruent. Storage. I used it to put in all of these little goodies. Your name and logo are going to be displayed on CDs that you distribute. On magnets that folks put on their refrigerators. This is from Staples, and how appropriate. Here's a stapler. Here is a name and logo. This is a little squidgy car that the car in some way is indicative of the company. What else? Calculators. Rulers. Pads to put next to your computer. Business cards, pencils, pens. Okay? Knowing then that the brand that you create is going to be applied to all of these different deliverables, it's very important that these deliverables that people take and distribute and move along, they tell part of your story. Because right now the person whose company this is from, it happens to be a translation company, is not here to tell you what he does. But this speaks clearly about what he does, or in some cases, not so clearly. Okay. We're going to pause for about half an hour now. I do have worksheets based on some of this information that we've put together. Hopefully we've got the creative juices flowing, because that was goal one. And our second goal or objective for today was to provide some basic information, which we've done. Some tools have been laid out. And now we're going to go through the various activities where you begin to look at your name, look at your logo, and think about where it can be enhanced. The handouts are in front of you. You can reconvene with the groups that you met with during our previous session, and we will reconvene in 30 minutes and have a group session based on the activities. Thank you.